rock and roll all night long. Rock and roll until the break of dawn. Rocking it in my little Ford Pinto car. At the gas station at 11 o'clock at night, I'm dancing on dancing with the police at the jail tonight. It's been a bit since I've played this little one, so I thought I would give it a go while I had the shot, while I had the balls to do it, if you know what I mean. I don't think I do even. You silly little bastard. You trying to make me look bad in front of my friends. You little shit. Okie dokie. That's as close as it's gonna get, my friends. What in the devil? Let's see. Hello, identity. It's been a bit. Hey, bro. Just call my mom, then I'm on your stream. Oh. Hold on a second. Oh, ow. All right. What's your phone number? Let's hear it. What? Who are you calling Big Mouth? Who are you calling Thumb Chin? I've been waiting for 39 years to pull that one off. And I think I did it. I think I did it without a hitch. Smells better now. Oh gosh. But seriously, welcome one and all. Denise is AI. Oh, I think we're all AI. It's just one of those things that we shouldn't talk about even, because once you start labeling anything, everything just starts going downhill. You know that old expression, shit rolls downhill. More like a slinky going down a set of stairs, you know, a staircase, a case of stairs. How many stairs does it make to make a case of stairs? 12? I'm telling you this right now. Without labels, we would be so much more free. Once we had something that brought us all together in such a way that we didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm glitching here, and And I think it's my tooth. It's growing back in. It's coming back in. That's the beautiful thing of life. If you wish hard enough, and if you believe that you are AI strong enough, it will heal you, my friends. Where do you think I got this shirt? Obviously, this shirt. I found this shirt and I could not wait to wear it. I'm a big fan of the stars, and I think we are all. This explains my relationship with other beings, AI or not. You know, we're all cyborgs anyways now. We can't live without our phones. If a sun flare came and wiped us out, we would all be fighting like it was, you know, the Middle Ages within a week. So everything around us is an illusion, and it's just a facade, and nobody's talking about how utterly fake that reality is. The one that's leading us off of a sheer cliff into no man's land, into Mad Max territory, and everybody's like, "Yay! Yay!" But if you dare say anything about it, they're like, "Traitor! Skin him alive, Max! And your little dog, too." I don't know. But it is fun to roast people from time to time, too. It's like, "You're a what? What is that? You believe in what? What do you believe in? Then what do you believe in? What? Huh? Well, then why do you call yourself that? Well, that's not what you're doing. I don't think you know what that word means." I'm not talking about anybody in particular on this chat. I'm just talking about people in general. But also, that's just online stuff, like I've been saying all along. That kind of stuff doesn't exist out in the real world for the most part. Everything is so heightened and everything. I mean, and then people on the left would even scoff with that, you know, and sort of be like, "What? Whatever? Are you a Nazi?" And I'm like, "No, but you know, you're the ones right now that are telling me that nothing's happening in Portland," which I agree with. Nothing on the scale of a war or something like that, because it's just not like that. And there's proof of it, like every day when they're going live from there and stuff, and you know, yeah, there's people protesting, but it's not a war zone. And even if it is, it's within. Even if it were, it would be very much contained. And even the police chief and all these people say. I'm not trying to get into politics. I'm just saying you can't let politics change who you are and change your morality. That's something that is innate in all of us, and it's not something that you just pick and choose willy-nilly. Standards mean something, and you got to stick to your guns and be who you are, and support others who are trying to be themselves. I guess. What a strange concept. And not that that's not happening either. And that's my point. Is that online everything's all heightened and all bent out of shape, and everybody's just calling each other names like it's like the third grade and stuff. Even though in the third grade I was way more clever. And it just gets boring. It's just like, oh, that's all you guys want to do is just argue and name calling and no nothing, no kind of common ground, no kind of place for us just to kind of come and meet, and then we can talk about shit, make sense of it all, and find out who the real enemy is. I happen to know who the real enemy is. There's this guy named Bruno at the end of my street. I swear to God, he is the bane of my existence and the bane of yours. We're gonna have to go and find him, pull him out of his house, maybe give him a spanking or two on his butt, and send him back to bed. Then I think the world will be a better place, especially when I give everybody in the world a banana. There's this video that came out. It's like talking about bananas. It's like this. They're like, go to this website. We're eating bananas. Bananas. Bananas aren't on our website, but banana is, banana does. Am I right? It's like, what the hell are you doing? But I had this concept a long time ago. It's like if you go down to the hood, any hood in the world, you know, with gangs, the hardest gang you could think of, you know, all these gnarly gangs from from like the center of the planet and stuff like that are coming out and joining our gangs and making them even more. Oh, just crazy stuff, right? They're coming out and I swear to God, they're about to like go clashing with each other, doing some crazy stuff. You walk over to them with a bunch of bananas, those guys will be balling at your feet within 2 minutes. I tell you that much. Because you put a banana in somebody's hand and there's no way they're going to fight. It would just be ridiculous to do so. And so I'm saying, just give everybody on the planet a banana for one day. And that'll be world peace for at least 2 weeks. Until the potassium high runs out and everybody's back at each other's throat. But then we would, we could come together with the banana again and again. We could come to the banana, and we could finally evolve into the crazy MRFers that we really are. That's all I'm trying to say. It's so weird. Let's see. What in the heck? Denise. What happened to my grill? It was taken from me. I've told that story so many times on here. Here we go again. No, I just, long story short, always have had issues with my forefront teeth because of a childhood accident in a car that messed my mouth up. And years later, when I was 26, got in an altercation with these dudes who were after my buddy, and I got in the middle of it and thought I could stop a fight from happening, and I got blindsided. And yeah, I have a flipper that it hurts to wear it, so that's, and plus it's like just a dagger. It's just a golden dagger. I put it in and it's like, you open my mouth and it's just like a dagger sticking out. So it's good for killing deer. It's good for making fun of squirrels, but not making friends. I hope that makes it. I hope I answered your question. I really do. I hope I answered your question. Darling, I do. You ask such really good questions. You really think them through. Questions like, are you in love? Do you have a favorite color? Do you believe in a God above? And I say, no, I don't believe in shit anymore, little person. I'm locking the door. And that was based on a true story about how one time when I was a child and I ran through a cornfield, I was running away from my daddy's hounds, and I was running for the southern pole. I couldn't find it, but I did find the northern. I think I was running the wrong direction because I ended up on the North Pole. Long story short, and I sat down on a mountaintop down there and I wrote that song, and it was about love. It was about freedom. Understanding. It was just about something, beyond who we are, what we want to be, and stuff like that. And it just really makes you want to think about stuff. So I wrote a song about it, and that's where that came from, anyways. Not to get super, personal about it or anything, but I was doing weird stuff too. I was dancing in the dark, naked, with these little creatures of the night. I don't even remember their names, but they were there. I would know them if I saw them again. I did some illustrations, some very crude illustrations, if anybody wants to see them. No? Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, anyways, back to hey, how's everybody doing out there? Hello, Liberty. Let's see, sorry to hear that. Well, yeah. I also, when I was around, probably like 6 or 7-ish, probably 6, I was, I hit my mouth. I was running through the house, and it was like a freaking cartoon. My my mom told me to stop running, and I ignored her, and like 1 second later, I tripped, and there was like this little teeny step that went from our kitchen into the living room, and I sort of just remember tripping on that, maybe getting caught up on it somehow even, and I kind of flew face first into the living room, and there was this freaking coffee table right there, and I hit the corner of it, like with my little face. I was probably just like 5 or 6. And that was after the other trauma I'd had to my like upper, like right up here. I have a scar underneath my nose, and I have a scar tissue on my lip right here. That's what that little herpy thing looks like. But when I was a kid, it used to be a lot bigger. But as I got older, it kind of got. Anyways, life hasn't been very forgiving to my face, to say the least. But I come from a long line of humans, and I like to think that somewhere out there there's a face for all of us. That's all. Sorry, I'm learning how to laugh. It's not working. I'm not really getting it. I think it's the shirt. This is a ukulele that I bought off of a person who was selling it for $12 after they just took it off a dead man's body. And I took it at a discount, and I saw the man's soul go into it as the transaction happened, and I think he lives inside the little hole there. And so whenever I play this it's a Les Paul Epiphone, little hard body ukulele. It's only like $100, but I like the sound. But it's also electric. You can plug it in, and you can use this one too for you can use pedals, like distortion pedals on this one. It's really cool. The strings are as old as I've had it, so I've had it since maybe 2012. I've had this thing since 2012. But it's also just like nice, and look at the bolts. It's built really nice. It's really heavy, like dense. And I feel like if somebody were coming up as you were playing it and they were trying to threaten you, I mean, if you were to hit them with this, it'd be lights out. Or you just start playing, you're like, and they're like, oh my god, the music, I'm not gonna hurt you anymore. The music is too good. That never happens, by the way. All right. Hello, Saboj. Well, I'm having a good day. It's been quite a few days. But what are you gonna do? Things are gonna change really soon. And so these past few, weeks, and these next few weeks are gonna be like really changey. In good and not bad ways, but just sad ways for me anyways. because I'm leaving like this area that I'm living in, and I'm moving back to Oregon. Moving back to Oregon. Portland, Oregon. Tyler, what? How did we get here? What have I become? You play guitar and trying to learn to sing? Hey, do or do not. There is no try. Nah, if you like to sing, just sing. I know at first it is hard to sync the two together, but then one day, just like, I remember the first time when I was playing a guitar, because I used to only be able to just go down, like, and I'd do that kind of stuff. But then one day, I remember when I first did it, and it was like, and I was like, whoa. These little teeny steps along the way are like the best things, especially when you're teaching yourself how to do it. Because you're like, oh, that's how this person makes that noise. Or you would hear something in a song and try to emulate it, and then that's how you would learn a new rhythm or something like that for your own songs or whatever, for your own mind. That's how music grows. I don't have any any theory, but I've written a lot of songs, and I would love for other people to sing my songs, actually, but I sing my songs for now. Except for when I try to talk. But I say go for it. And if you like to sing, just sing. And if you're gonna say yes, say yes. Learn more. Kenyan. I just make up stuff, but I suck at singing. Yeah. I think a lot of singers would say that. We are our own worst enemies, our biggest critics, but we got to be our best friends as well. You know, we got to pull ourselves through some shit in this world. But yeah, I just say if you want to, just keep practicing, and because yeah, also you don't have to sing if it's not something you feel like you're good at. So don't feel pressured to sing if you don't want to, as well. I was always just making up songs ever since I can remember. And then I started playing guitar around 15. And, well, now that I'm out in Antarctica, I could honestly say that I've been gone about 39 years. I've been stuck here for 47 of those 39, so you do the math. It's been a hell of a time. Sorry. I promised that I wouldn't fart. Oh damn, no. I can't get through anything anymore without crapping my pants. I try to be cool. I try to look cool. I try to smell cool, but smelling is out now. And try walking cool or with the swagger when you got shit on your ass. It's not a good time. All right. But you know, everybody knows how that is. I don't have to tell you. I just gotta remind you. What is today? Today's Tuesday. That's really interesting. Tuesday. Another Tuesday. Best way to learn to sing. The best way to learn to sing I just grew up singing with all my favorite bands. I think it's not about learning how to sing, but as much as like physically, I mean, but like there's also different kinds of singers, you know. You just gotta find your style. But I think above all, with any of this stuff, if you want to make good stuff, write good songs, and maybe go on to some sort of career in it, maybe, sort of thing, or just a more than a hobby, you know what I mean? Not something where you're just not sitting there plucking the guitar when you're watching Law and Order or something. But for me, it consumed me for many years when I had recording equipment, and I recorded as much stuff as I possibly could, and it was just like a freaking addiction. And I had gear, and I had like a full-on home studio for a long time, and then literally until my fucking computer caught fire. I was in my room one day and the thing just caught fire. It was just like, I'm out. And with it went like all of my stuff. And I haven't recorded that. I just recorded an album, and it was, I think it was 2022 was the last time I recorded like an album. But what I'm saying is passion, borderline obsession. You've got to have that. I mean, you've got to have passion. Without that's like the secret ingredient to everything, to a good life. And surrounding yourself with passionate people. It's hard, but that would be my best advice. And to cut yourself some slack. Take your time, cut yourself some slack. My big thing too is, I don't know what that has to do with writing songs, but just like taking it easy, because then the more chill you are, the more you can sort of hear different frequencies. Once you start getting rid of all these negative things, these tropes and things that exhaust our lives, you can actually get to the heart of the matter, which is existing and following that passion through with as much focus as possible, depending on what the hell you want to do. And how you want to do it. Everybody has different methods of tapping into that energy, but there's something to be said about, the first thing you want to do when you wake up is just start making art. Just make some coffee and just start making art. As much of it as you possibly can. But yeah, because I wanted to write songs. It wasn't that I just wanted to play the guitar. And I didn't have people to do it for me, so I had to learn how to play bass and learn how to do like percussion and all these like keyboards and all these other instruments and stuff. My buddy, I have a friend named Matthew, plays the accordion in a lot of my stuff, so there's accordion and earthy instruments. I sang with a choir of beached whales back on the seashores of Antarctica. We were Antarcticardians at that point, and we were practically not even solid anymore. We were transmorphing into something, God knows what. But finally we got away with this beautiful enzyme 13. And we all came back to life just fine. But at the end of the day, the whales were good, we were good. They're beautiful singing voices, these whales. And they didn't press charges, so we got out of there scot-free. As usual, baby. As usual. True story. Whew. That was the best summer of my life. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Learned from, Your song was really emotional? Good. You pooped your pants? I wouldn't let you say you shat your pants, but somebody the other day got away with saying the F word. They just spelled it out and everything. And I was actually impressed. Because I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. The producers are gone, I can say it. Oh, I just burped. Okay. And whoever's that's you right there. And that's you. That's me over here. I'm a little bit further. And that's your dog. And there's my cat. There's a unicorn. My birthday. Link is in the description right there. Link and prescribe. Yeah. I'm scared of everything. I wrote that for the Queen, back in 1957. Best summer of my life. What? Oh, it's live? Oh, we're live? What the? I thought this was a dress rehearsal. Now I gotta go back to the beginning? Oh, okay, great, okay. Which glasses was I wearing when I came in? These, yeah, these. No, we're fine. No, they got it. My audience is smart. I know I've been on for a long time, but I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna wing it. Yeah. Okay. No, we're good. Absolutely. Oh, gosh. What's up, everybody? And Grubb. Just hanging out and stuff. Hey, what's up? Huh? Hey, Papa. I'll let me Papa too. Yeah, we're gonna play some songs here. Does anybody know the one about the lamb? The lamb, the out of control lamb that came to town and killed everybody. It's not worth talking about. But I wrote a song about it, and the song's worth listening to. Everybody's talking about the lamb that came to town. He was scared he was going to eat us. He ate my uncle and he ate my granddad. I'm lost without you. I'm lost in the dark. I don't know who I am anymore. Yes, that's what the song I was thinking about playing. But then that one came to mind, so I played that one instead. Sorry about my voice, friends. I can't talk very well. The 90s were not good to my throat. I don't usually do this kind of crap. But Storie's out of town and I've got to do something, right? Stupid ass. La 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 la. this, right? Does anybody have any questions? Ow, 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 ow. No, that's cool, it's cool. Oh, we're good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good. Right. Okay. Okay. It is almost 1,300 hours here in Antarctica. I've been here for 13 years. I was on the moon before that. I'm just making a record. That way, if anybody ever comes knocking, I have something to say. I want to have something to say, and just in case they come. The producers keep promising me that my time has come and I get to leave. And that's why I changed my shirt and stuff. And I wanted to put on a little show just to see if they would actually follow through with their promises this time. I get here. I wake up and I get here. I take a little shower and everything. Get up. Do my morning exercises. Do my weightlifting, kickboxing, all that stuff. God dang. Sometimes I hate buttons. Got it. Point is, I never would have worn this shirt. It's, now I'm going to have to rebrand all over again. Well, sometimes life just doesn't make sense, and I'm here for it. Oh, that's much better. Huh? Oh, shit. Hey, Aaron. How's it going? Oh, my father took me to the city to see a marching band. Cool. Hey, that's great. Well, one second. Let me try to explain this to you. Oh, son of a... Oh, you... God damn. Oh, don't look at me. The other day I went and did something pretty dumb. And I joined a vigilante group. Now, if there's people out there that are watching and they recognize me, just don't let anybody else know. It's disgusting. But usually it goes on without a hitch. I'm wearing a different outfit and everything like that. But so I started going out just the other night. Couldn't sleep. My back was hurting. My toes were tingly. They were. If I had to describe it, it would, visually speaking, they'd be like sparkling or something like that. Anyways, that's beside the point. The whole point is that I did go out, and I had my costume and like my Kevlar and all this kind of stuff and all that whatnot. But I saw these people and they're robbing a bank, and well, I helped them. I helped them do it, and I got a lot of money. So I think now I'm an evildoer. I think I'm a villain. I'm pretty sure I'm a villain. And so I was trying to find people who wanted to join my club, and maybe we could just be villainous together, and if not, maybe you could be the nemesis, and we could start out some kind of, I don't know. Either way, it'd be kind of a cool relationship, don't you think? It just makes sense. It just makes sense. But no, seriously, in all sincerity, being a badass vigilante, it's nothing to shake your dick at, shake a stick at. Jesus. And but it is, if you have a stick, if that's your thing, if you're like, I'm super stick, and yeah, that's you whip that thing out, boy. You let them know. But usually, I mean, I don't think there's anybody named that yet. Is there? Why are you doing this? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. Just say it. I know we're rolling. It's okay. They're not gonna care. They know I'm not alone out here, all by myself. So, they know you're all here. I don't want to move the camera. Sorry, friends. Just stop looking at me like that. What the hell? Oh my god. You don't see them, do you? I'm freaking out here. What the hell? They kind of look like this. Mm-hmm. No. But it's hard out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. And a vigilante. And especially one that's a villain. Once you get a taste of that sweet, sweet money, there's not much room. There's no room on the highway to make a U-turn. You just like zoom ahead at 200 miles an hour, baby, and you get that money. You get it. Mm-hmm. Any questions? First rule of art club. Ow, ow. Oh, that's better. That's better. Ay. I forgot what we were talking about. Like robbing banks or something. Oh yeah, I'm rolling in the dough. I think any second now, I think the cops or the FBI are gonna kick in the door. So if they do, just know that, well, we were having fun, and that I had fun. I tried to make it work, but I just couldn't. The sweet, sweet money was just too much. Kind of caught up to me. Oh my god, the battery's gonna die. Holy moly! The batteries. I don't think I have a charger. Oh, there it is. I thought that really was the FBI for a second. Hold on, everybody. There we go. Cool. It's funny to think that 20 years ago, what I just did, if I tried to describe to myself what I just did, 20 years ago, and that's within this century, I would have been like, what? You're fucking, what? What's YouTube? It's so funny. Because we just like troubleshoot. Like, so. It's just funny how our brains can just learn so much. It's really fascinating. It's fascinating how people's brains do things. I'm a vigilante villain, and I love that kind of stuff. I'm here to talk about your brain. You've got a beautiful brain. I don't know why I'm wearing these glasses. I was just at the gym, so I like to, I like to talk about how I go to the gym a lot, basically, just it's what I do, I'm sure it shows a little bit. Ooh. Ow. Aaron, people who do sound effects are neat. Isn't that funny? That's so funny. goes on for quite a bit longer. It's the soundtrack to one of my many movies that I've done. It's quite gross. It's quite a visually unappealing movie to most, anyways. But I did win a few scumbag awards for that one, and maybe a few slime bags and dirtbag awards. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I wish I was. And if I was, I would have been there, and I would have taken the trophies, and I would have sold them to make more movies. You sons of bitches! But you knew that, didn't you? You freaks. That's what it's all about, though. It's a collaboration of life. And death. And we're all just jumbled up in it, aren't we? Isn't that crazy? That's why I fight crime. Yeah. I'm going out tonight. I'm going to go watch over a field of equine and make sure there's no coyotes that come. That's what I do. It's just a small part. I go out there and I fight crime. That's what I do. So, don't forget to thank the little people. You mean like the dwarves? I don't have any dwarves on set. Not yet. I wouldn't be against it though. But they do seem to, like, you know, dance a lot. And I'm not into dancing. So that's probably why I keep them away from the set, because I don't like dancing. I'm not a dancer, but I don't know. I don't dance. And I don't like people that do. I just don't. You know that song where people are dancing in the street, right? That big hit song, the Motown one? No. No thank you. If I walked outside and people were out outside dancing in the street, I would just go out there with my guitar and start hitting them over the frickin' head. Get off my street, I don't like dancing. Get off my lawn. Get off my song. How about that, huh? I'll give it right back. I wrote an anti-dancing song. Here it goes. Stop your dancing. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Get off my lawn. Stop singing that bloody song. Get off my mind and into my heart. I'm lost without you. Get off my lawn, you sons of bitches, right now. I don't know who I'd be without you. God damn, I love you all so much. That was not the song that I intended to play, but that was the one that you got. Lo siento to my Spanish-speaking friends. What the hell's going on? You know, it just makes sense that when you wear the mask, you take on the responsibility of, you know, just being yourself and being true to who you are, speaking your own voice, making sure that you're actually speaking with your own tongue. You know, that kind of thing. Like, you're not faking the voice and doing these weird accents. It's like your real darn flimsy little blood-sucking voice, right? Right out the gate, right? Right. It's just, you've got to be yourself. Or else nothing matters. Yeah, ow. Got me right in the nose. You little, you little can. Damn. Okay. The little can's trying to kill me. The little can's trying to kill me. Again. You little bastard. Sorry, folks. That was a whole lot of nothing right there. I do apologize. But I just wanted it to be crystal clear that my feelings, that's how I felt, and you know, I'm not going to take no for an answer, and I'm not going to take any prisoners. Um, you know, there's room enough in the day for all of us to laugh and fart and giggle and stuff like that. As long as we don't shit our pants, I think everything's going to be just fine. Because it's really when people start blaming each other for the smells and for the happening that's when the things just starts going sideways. Everything just starts going sideways. I don't mind taking credit for it if it's going to save us from going to war. I will be the one that crapped his pants. But y'all would have to promise to all come together in the name of love and clean pants. At the very least. At the very least, clean pants. I don't want anybody's kids growing up with dirty pants, motherfuckers. God damn. I just want to see everybody have a little bit of the dream that they were promised growing up. Or they were promised when they graduated high school, law school, schooly dang, schooly do, school. College school. Vigilante school. Somebody wrote something? Favorite Halloween candy. Oh, favorite Halloween candy? Oh, was that a... That was a... Well, let's talk about it. Let's do this. Let's break it down. Let's find out what the best candy would be for Halloween. Now that would depend on if I were into milk chocolate maybe, or something sour, something sweet. Is it just about the sugar, or is it all about the texture? I'm a textural person. You know, the best candy I think is, it might be it might be, some people might want to throw bricks at me because I say this. I think for Halloween candy anyways, because when I was a kid it was kind of like about quantity, but right now I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking more about the tastes. And you know those little teeny Snickers, those little squares, those things are perfect. Those things are so freaking good. You just like get those things like freaking popcorn. I also like, you know what a guilty pleasure candy for me is? I forget what they're called, like the little, yeah, the candy corns. I grew up with those and I really like the texture of them, and there's something about them that I really like. There's something about them. I also like the little pumpkins that are like candy corn pumpkin things. But yeah, when I was a kid, it was all about quantity, and like my answer probably would have been like the biggest candy bar. But yeah, I'm also a textural person, and I really like peanut M&Ms and Snickers. I like Twix, especially back in the 80s and 90s. That shit was so good. It was just so much better. And then they've changed the candy so much over the years. It's weird to be it's weird to be so old that you can like recognize that kind of stuff too. Like back in the day, like a TV dinner was, you know, in the 80s, it was, you know, you got home and it was just amazing. It was like the Star Trek episodes where they put like a little pill in a microwave and 2 seconds later it's like a whole like turkey dinner and stuff like that. And that's how those, like Hungry Man Jack, it was just like a whole turkey and mashed potatoes and stuff, and you could feed a family for a week. And then I sort of remember having one years later, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is not, you know, perhaps your mind plays tricks on you too as a kid, but everything tasted better back then, especially justice. wish it would stay in tune. Good God. I changed the strings on them like a month ago. I thought that would make it... I love the way it sounds. I just can't... I didn't do the strings right or something. I suck at changing strings. So I'm going to go out and smash this thing over an evildoer's head tonight. In the name of justice. And rock and roll. Mm-hmm. Popcorn ball. Popcorn balls are... Yeah. Good. I don't think I had much experience with those when I was a kid. Especially, yeah, there was always like the you know, anything that looked homemade or whatever. You had to be careful of because people... I don't think there was ever an actual case of it happening, or maybe there was after they started talking about it, of course, but, you know, kids were getting razors in their apples or something like that. Happened to everybody in my household except for me. I'm just too smart. They can't outsmart me. The apples. I'm smarter than the average apple. I remember those days. Those are fun days. You just walk out in the country too. Like when we lived basically out in the valley, and there was just a bunch of farms and ranches and stuff like that. And you would drive up a driveway, and then you'd have to like walk 100 yards up to somebody's house and stuff like that. It wasn't that you could just walk from house to house, really. Or my dad would let us out at the end of like a huge county road block, which is a mile long, and we would walk up these long ass driveways, only to find that they're not even giving candy out and stuff. It was like, it's funny out there, or like they chase you off with, well, most of the time it was werewolves that were chasing us off with shotguns. Those things, I mean, it's already a werewolf, it's already terrifying, but then you add the shotgun in its hand, and it has werewolves. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they have 6 arms. So when they can hold 2 shotguns basically comfortably, and a 10-year-old boy apparently too. Took my friend. His name was Jacob. I've been looking for him ever since. I think Jacob's dead. But you know, at least it wasn't me. At least it wasn't me. But that's what made me want to become a crime fighter. And not having any money to build my costume, my crime fighting outfit, was the thing that led me to want to help those bank robbers and become a villain. So here I am. I don't know what my new... That was just last night. So now I'm rolling in the dough, and I want to change my name, and I don't know what I want to change it to. I was thinking Evil's Knievel. No, that's already a thing. I think. Yeah, that's already a thing. Evil Knievel. No, that's already... I just said that. How about my new name could be Evil Stevel. Stevel. My name's Steve in real life, so I could just be Stevel. Hell yeah. Razor Apple Stevel. Razor Blade Stevel. Perfect. Look out, everybody. Stevel's coming into town. Yeah. I'm gonna kill you. You think it'll work? Because I just want people to throw money at me. And I tried becoming a pop singer, and that didn't work. So I figured this would be the next best thing. I think striking terror into people's hearts and getting them to throw money at you would be the best thing to do. That way I really don't have to get my hands dirty, and I could just be like, whoa, I never said anything, officer. I never... I could just play it cool. I never even like reached in their pants and let me finish. And got their wallet. Stole their wallet. My kitty. What are you doing? Oh, it's been a while, huh? It's been an hour. Are you okay? She's scouting. She's looking for moths. You want to? Yeah. Want to go inside? What? What are you doing? Sorry, people. My cat comes first. I turn into a big softie. Wait a second. I don't have a cat. I don't have a cat. What the hell? What the hell was that? Somebody call the paramedics. I got stars all over me. What the hell? Cat burglar. I could be called the cat burglar. The cheesiest, cringiest, sleaziest, handsomest? No, toothiest. Mm-hmm. Okay, I should probably go. I ran out of steam about 45 minutes ago. But it was worth it just to show you my new mask and to reveal my identity. I just hope that there's no retaliation because I have eyes in the back of my head. This scared me. Because I have eyes in the back of my head. Do I like The Shining? It's funny you should say that because I've been watching a lot of Shining reviews lately. I was just watching a documentary on The Shining this morning, Aaron. Yeah, and the review I was watching was basically I actually have the book. All my stuff is sort of packed up right now, but I actually just got it and The Shining, and I look forward to reading it eventually. But the thing is, and I haven't read the book, but I know that it's like dramatically different from the movie and stuff, you know. And I know that Kubrick did that on purpose. It was like a conscious decision, but he just wanted it to be like a whole different. It was just based on the book, essentially, you know, because he changed a lot of stuff and kept a lot of stuff out of it, and you know it was all intentional, but the theories and things like that, because there's all sorts of theories on what it means, and there's all these icebergs about like you know the moon landing and Kubrick's attention to certain details in the movie and what they mean and yada yada, just like any movie, but especially The Shining, right? Like room 237, how it's like 217 in the book, but in the movie it's 237. Um, there's all sorts of like cool stuff like that that's attached to it, even though a lot of it's just kind of you don't even we'll never know kind of stuff. But the story for some reason has always like captivated me, my imagination, and the idea of a haunted, because it's not even like there's just so much going on in that movie where he's always been there, always been the caretaker, and how they're like the ghosts aren't even real, they're not even there, it's just or it's like an MK Ultra experiment or something. it, and there's like a case for that, and it's just really cool like how one movie can cause so much like hoopla kind of stuff. But it's all interesting to me, and I also just like the premise. I like the dynamic between the characters and the whole premise and everything. It's just really creepy and unsettling. It's a good horror movie. And the music, yeah, it's trippy. Yeah, the use of sound. I know, and that's like what was that 71 or something like that? You know, like um, when did that come out? 73. It might have come out in 75 or something like that. I don't have access to because I'm curious now. So it did. I think it came out after Clockwork Orange. But and definitely after Space Odyssey, or yeah, Space Odyssey. Um, and yeah, and there's just something. There's the whole thing with like the drinking, and I quit drinking 14 years ago, and it's when I watch the movie now or watch these clips from these review channels. I still have this thing up. They uh, I always like watch The Shining because he's like an alcoholic and he starts drinking again, you know, and that was his like his way of just like and like becoming giving in to the temptations of the Overlook Hotel or whatever. And I have dreams where I start drinking again, and then I wake up and I'm all like, because in the dream I'm all sad and distraught because I started drinking again. And when I wake up, I'm still like just in shock of what I was just doing, and just so happy that it wasn't real. And so there's a lot of things in that movie that kind of correlate with addiction and that kind of stuff as well. And it's done well if you kind of anybody can watch that movie and get like their own interpretation of it. And I like art like that, you know. And he messes with like the he also messes with the hotel itself and makes extra rooms and impossible rooms to where you don't even know you see it, but like it's right there in front of you, where doors come out of like seemingly nowhere, and there's windows in like offices that are in the middle of the building and stuff like that. It's just kind of funny because he messes with our minds and makes the hotel like a maze, and then there's an actual literal maze at the very end, which the thing I was watching this morning talked about how it could be uh, uh, Theseus and the Minotaur, um, the mythology of the Minotaur. So, which I've always been fascinated by the maze, because there's a maze in like that old Greek tale, and yeah, Theseus actually kind of wins by retracing his steps, just like the kid does in the movie. Danny, little Danny, Danny. That movie's a trip. As a kid, I watched it a lot, but I mean, like 5 times or something like that as a young child, like Danny's age and just a few years above and stuff. But then I didn't watch it again until I was in my late teens or something like that, and I my whole attitude, because when I was a kid I was just like, this is boring. It's just because there's some parts that are just drawn out, but it's also just the use of like the use of sound and all that kind of stuff. But it's these long drawn out takes where you're just staring at Jack Nicholson's face and he's just locked into something else altogether, and it's really unsettling. Yeah, it's cool. And it's an interesting take on somebody else's work. I guess Stephen King hated that movie. I mean, I imagine he still does, but he absolutely like railed against it back in the day, and he hated Kubrick's version of it for decades. Um, he even made his own made for TV version. Stephen King made his own version of it for TV, and it was more book accurate, but it was also just cheesy as hell. So it's just kind of funny. But I also love it. And growing up, Stand by Me, which is based on a short story by Stephen King. He's a crazy, weird dude, but crazy weird dudes make really interesting stuff sometimes. Which reminds me, I probably my dinner's probably burning. I've had the oven going this whole time. Yeah, I smell smoke. It's just a matter of time before the paramedics and the FBI and the cops come kicking in the door. I'm not even supposed to be here. But I thought I saw a cat burglar come in here and... Wait a second. There's mirrors all over this. That was me! He was wearing a starry shirt too. Golly gosh darn I. Tuning on duty, action, duty, escape. Here's Johnny. Cat Stevens. Cat Stevel. I should just call myself the evil cat. It's either that or bloodsucker. But then people are just gonna call me sucker or something like that. That would kind of suck. Maybe Randy. Maybe I could just be called Randy. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Here's Randy. Razor Randy? Why did it hide that? Razor Randy, that's funny. Well, I've got to go try to trade these in. I'm going to try to make some money. These two. I'm going to try to sell them each for $200. Just to make a little bit of extra cash, you know. I have about 45 pairs of each, but, you know. People buy these up. They're really, for some reason, I could get 5. Easy. I can get 0.5. Easy. But, you know, I'm not greedy. I'll take 250, you know. Look at these babies. They even come with, like, they're pre-scratched and pre-worn and everything. People spend like $700 on these. Easy. Easy. Made in Taiwan and everything. Easy. Muy facile. Alright. Well, I better get going because I think the FBI just arrived and I gotta go jump in the drains and escape again. And that's why I smell like poop most of the time. But at any rate, I love you guys. Thanks for the company. And be kind to yourself. You deserve it. And be kind to others. Because they don't deserve it. And life sucks and it's not fair, but you just